Hello everyone and welcome to a new Cybernetks Log. I know it's been a while and as you can see I changed it up a little bit. I've started adding video again, but this log is going to be a little bit of a rant, mostly on content creation. Last log was about the release of the planner. And I'm currently working on a digital version of that, an iOS app. And even though I've been working on it for like a month now, I've not done any logs. I haven't done any small blog posts. I haven't done any social media content. I haven't done any of it. And it's something that keeps playing in my mind. Like, why is it so hard for me to create content? To create logs, podcasts, videos, blog posts, and even social media posts. And there's like a two-sider to it. Like on one hand, I feel a bit discomfort doing this, both talking, so even if it's just the voice, and not video, though I'm trying to go over that hurdle by doing the video now as well. Apologies if you're on the podcast and you won't see it. Though I do think podcasts also support video, I'll have to check that out for later. And there's this like thought running in my head, like what do people think of me when I do this? Mostly people close to me, right? Like my family doesn't really mind, but like coworkers and potential clients and all of that, that's something that keeps popping up in my head. Like, what would they think if they see this log or hear this podcast, see this video, read this post? And it's something I have to like get over with. I just have to like block it off and do it for me and not care about what anything else thinks. At least not in the sense of like how they perceive me, but more like do take the input like, oh yeah, the video isn't great quality, and then try to improve it. Same for the voice, but all of the rest I should probably just like let go and not think about it. And so try to create more content, even though I'm not aiming to be a content creator. I don't specifically want to do that. I love just building stuff. I mean, I've spent evenings with the kids asleep and the wife still doing like her own business, working on her own web shops and stuff, and just grinding out ideas, features, code, and just working on something. But then to go ahead and write something about it, and then wondering like what will people think about it, and then go into this overdrive and overthinking of what would it do. And that's one part of it. And then also there's like the whole, but what do I even create content about? I mean, there are so many tutorials. Do I still add tutorials? Which feels kind of off. Like there's already so much content about it. And then talking about my journey, which is something AI also suggested, is a bit weird. Like if I built a feature, it proposed like talk about why you built this feature and how. But then I think like I sometimes churn out multiple features in an evening. Do I have to then make a log for each and every one of them, or one big log? And do I have to do it every week, or a summary in the week? And so I start overthinking again. And what happens is I don't do anything. I just don't log it. And something that also doesn't really help is the fact that, I come from a time where you just had Twitter and that was it. And you shouted into Twitter and you had like-minded people surrounding you and you would have conversations on it. And then you had like Instagram maybe popping up and you would like show something visual. Like if I would go to a conference, I would make like, what is it called again? I haven't been on that platform for so long, but not posts, but like stories about it. And now you have reels. And then LinkedIn was very professional, like, oh, I started a new job, I had a new client. But these days, it's not just about the fact that the lines have kind of blurred because people like shout everything on LinkedIn, for example. But also Twitter isn't what it used to be. And then now you have so many different replacements. I mean, if I think about it, I'm in an account on X, or the old Twitter. There's an account on Instagram, which means there's an account on Threads, which, you know, if you just take the text, then it's like X. There is Threads, there is Blue Sky or Mastodon or anything, you know, like that. For gaming development, there's also Game Jolt, which I also had. You can post on itch.io. That's 5 text variants. And then you still have like Instagram, which in itself also has like posts, and you have stories, you have reels. And then there's the famous LinkedIn, which I am so overthinking on that one when I try to post on it. Exactly the one I said at the beginning, like, what will colleagues think when I start posting on this? So it just makes it so hard to, like, say, do some quick social media content as well. And then on top of it, you have blog posts, you have these videos, podcasts, and in the end you have like 10 or more channels of content that you can provide. But to me, because it's also not my goal to be a content creator, it kind of hinders everything, right? I don't pick up my phone or open the browser to just quickly type a post on whatever it is, like X or Blue Sky. And sometimes I also feel like maybe I should just like pin down on one for each, right? Like do text posts on LinkedIn and nothing else, or on Threads, or maybe those two, or maybe still X, I don't know. See, that's the whole issue, like where do you post? And then there's also the fact that when you create content, which for me is duplicate, because on one hand you want to show the journey, which is interesting for developers, and then on the other hand you want to create stuff around what you're building, and not so much in the sense of people who also want to build and share their vision, which is the first one, but like to get your users, right? That means you have to post potentially on a very different platform and very different things. Depending on what you build, of course. Like not all, say I built a game, not all gamers are developers, and they might not all be on X or Twitter, or which is the same, or on Game Jolt in my case, because game development is like a lot on Game Jolt or itch.io. But as a gamer, you're not potentially on any of those platforms. Same goes for iOS development or web development. Those people are on a different platform versus the users you want to potentially reach. And then I'm keeping, again, LinkedIn completely out of it, because what do you even post on that one? What you built? Who cares? Well, maybe everyone cares. That's the thing. You really don't know. And so I'm kind of stuck in that loop, and I should have done more logs in the past. Like I said, I'm already building the iOS app, and I'm like, this week, I gave myself this week the deadline to finish up all of the features I still want in that first version, which goes a bit beyond the minimum viable product. But I think I aim more for the minimum lovable product, while also making sure I still learn from what I'm implementing in iOS development. And so I should have made more logs about that as well, and that's a bit the hard part. So I'm trying to work on it, and maybe for the social media I'll just like pick one text platform, keep LinkedIn for the professional stuff, maybe use Instagram for the stories and small posts to show UI UX and what is going on, and then try to write more smaller blog posts that are not in the log section but like separate. It's just something I have to think about. And I realize now that this log is, like I said last time, very natural. I didn't write a script, I'm just going straight out of my mouth. But it also means this is pretty much a rant on social media, content creation, all of that. But maybe I shouldn't even worry about that. I mean, last 2 logs have 0 listeners on the podcast, only a few views on YouTube, and that's fine. I mean, it's like the 4th, 5th log or something, so there is no audience yet, as they say. But still, yeah, you want to reach a certain goal, right? And even though content creation again is not the goal, it's still something I want to do for myself. And so, yeah, it is something to think about. Maybe I'll just go away from some of the social media content and focus on 1 or 2 things. I think stories on Instagram are pretty fast to do. Posts maybe as well, and then textual updates on threads or yeah. Maybe I'll have an investigation again to see which platform would best suit my needs to. And it's not about building that audience to get like the ego thing. It's more like if I post something, I love to get feedback. Like I did the planner release. There's no one watching it, of course, because I have no audience. But that's what I mean, right? You have to build that audience to get people interested in what you're doing. And then to get feedback from those people saying like, hey, I really like this in your product and I didn't like this in the application. And hey, here's a suggestion. Maybe you can pick it up and implement it on a later date. It's stuff like that that I think is the most interesting part of content creation, for me at least. Not so much the whole, oh, I'm big on the internet. It's not the goal I have. I just want to build and have fun, and get feedback. And it's that last part that it's missing because I'm not doing a lot of content creation. Anyway, apologies for this rant-like log, but I wanted to break the cycle of postponing again, and so I just wanted to throw out what was on my chest and on my mind, and hopefully it's the start of doing more logs again, hopefully with better content, and hopefully also this is a bit better production wise because it's the first time doing it like this. And I think my office has a lot of echo at the moment because it's not fully furnitured yet, but we'll get there as well in the future. Anyway, if you're listening or watching or reading, thank you very much, and let me know if there's anything I could improve or that you would like to see in my journey, and I'll catch you all in the next log. Bye.